and welcome to another chair yoga session with Terri. Wellness with Terri. All right, let's get started making sure we have the right equipment today. You need your body. You need a chair without arms that feels stable to you. You might need a blanket or a block to bring the floor up closer so your hips are aligned with your knees. If I take my block away, my knees are lower than my hips, and we want them to try to be equal. If you have a towel or if you happen to have a yoga strap, you might want it for one of the stretches we're going to do later. Good stretch for the hamstring, so grab either a towel or an actual strap. All right, so I also encourage you to turn on some music, something that is soft and soothing for you. Due to licensing rights, I'm not going to be playing music here today. We're just going to be working on some moves that you can do at home to keep yourself stretched out and strong. All right, taking a moment to settle into your chair. This time, push yourself all the way back. Make sure hips are level with knees, spine is tall, neck is long. We're going to lightly close our eyes and begin to tune into our breath. Feeling both the chest and the belly rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Bringing our awareness to our body into this present moment. Scanning for tension in our bodies from the crown of the head down, just making sure we're releasing and softening everything that we can. Being aware of your whole body. Just taking a moment to check in with how you're feeling, accepting what is, not trying to change it at this time, but just checking in to see where you're at. And then taking a moment to set your own personal intention. I invite you to go to hands at heart center, namaste position if you choose to. We're just going to find an affirmation or a thought, something that works for us today, and take 3 breaths. And at the end of that 3rd exhale, we're going to just release our hands to our knees or to the chair, whatever's comfortable. Keep your eyes closed and begin our warming motions for the neck. So turning side to side. Taking the chin down and up when you're ready. Adding ear towards shoulder. Gentle movement there. That might be a little tight for some of you. And then we're going to come back to center here, and we're going to invite in some movement for our upper body. So moving it around in some circles. Gentle. They don't have to be full circles. They can just go semicircles so that you don't have to worry about hitting the back of the chair. And we're going to come back to center and sit up tall. We're going to take a little twist side to side. So sometimes it's awkward with the back of the chair. I'm going to actually slide forward, moving my block out of the way now. Slide forward onto my chair so I have a little more room. And I'm going to take a twist side to side. Nice and slow. Letting your spine warm up gently. Continuing to breathe our deep, full breaths even as we move into practice. Honoring our bodies as we move and not doing anything that doesn't feel good to us. Let's try a side stretch. We're going to raise up an arm. First, we're just going to lift, reach, stretch, spread those fingers, and take it down. And then we're going to inhale up the other side. Reach, stretch, spread those fingers. Exhale down. Now let's do it together. Before we do our side stretch, let's take some inhales up. Reach up, stretch up. Exhale fully out. Let's do 2 more of those. Now we're going to start to add that side stretch. So let's just take our left arm, raise it up, hang on to the side of the chair so we don't tip over, and just take a deeper stretch to the side, leaning, stretching all along the side of your left side. That didn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Let's go to the other side, raising up that right arm, stretching out our right side. Again. Left, and right. Coming back to center position, let's work on our posture. It's easy to slouch when we don't pay attention. So sitting up tall, and you can push back in your chair if you want to. I'm going to stay at the edge here with my feet on the ground. Sit up really tall, take the shoulders up, exaggerate them, back, and pull them down. Keep the back of the neck long, so I'm not looking up or down. I'm just trying to look straight ahead, or you can even close your eyes. Just feel the back of your neck being long. As we curl those shoulders back, we're going to start to build a trench between our shoulder blades. We're going to feel an opening through the chest. You can hang onto that chair, or you can let go and have your palms face away from you, starting to add a little warm up for those arms, especially if you're reaching through the fingertips toward the floor. You feel your shoulders moving down and back. And we breathe. One more breath here. Hopefully you have room, but we're going to take those arms out, straight out, thumbs up. Pull the shoulders back again and begin to pulse that trench just a little bit so you feel your chest open a little more. You feel the strength of those shoulder blades as they pull together and open. And we breathe. Warming them up really good before we take those arms forward and stretch. So now we're going to bring those arms forward, put one over the other, doesn't matter which one. I want you to round forward and reach through those fingertips. Feel that stretch, the rounding of the chest here. But then I want you to come back, plug into that really great posture, nice and tall, shoulders down and back. Trench between the shoulder blades, and now reach. Different stretch, better position. Breathe. All right, just a little more shoulder warm up, then we're going to get moving. We're just going to roll the shoulders back, so gently roll. You can go either direction to start. We're just going to go 6 times. And then go the opposite way. We're going to do just one more movement, making it simple from the elbow. So you can keep it low if you're having shoulder issues, but we're just going to circle. However it feels good for you. And if not, you can do that first move again. Opposite way. All right, now I'm just going to ask you to give yourself a hug. Just wrap those arms around, try to stack those elbows. Pull the shoulders back and down. Hang on. Just breathe for a moment. You've got this. We've got this. All right. So if you're not on the edge of your chair, move forward to the edge of your chair. We're going to do some forward folds, stretching out that back. So we're going to take those arms up. Maybe we want to interlace, maybe not. And then we're going to come forward. So you can just come straight forward, or you can bring your hands down and use your body to get to the floor or to get to that block if you'd rather. Press into something. If you can't quite reach the floor here in this position, bring that block right in front of your toes and use it. So in this forward fold, we're not stretching our legs yet. We're really just stretching our back. You can move this forward fold if you want to take your hands to one side and then the other. We're going to try a halfway lift. So we're going to just bring our hands to our shins and just stretch that back out. Just feel it lengthen. Back of the neck is long. Don't look up too high. Take it back down. Stretch. Forward fold. Gonna go halfway lift again. Coming up. Stretch, lengthen that back. Now add a little neck to it, just a little gaze change side to side. And then we're going to slide our way back up. And we're going to take the legs and take them wide in this forward fold. So a wide-legged forward fold. So find good position for your feet. Some action of those knees moving out to the sides. Maybe it already starts a little stretch here. The block, if you need it. Bring it closer this time because your feet are not in the way. We're going to take an inhale up and either slide down your body or just take it forward. Reach for that floor or that block. Feet are planted, knees turned out. It's a wide-legged forward fold. Just let your body soften. Breathe. If you relax and soften enough that you don't need your block, you can move it out of the way. Neck is loose, shaking it yes and no to keep it loose. Let's try walking our hands or leaning a little to one side, see if that does anything for the stretch. And then take it over to the other side. Coming back to center. We're going to lift up, walking ourselves all the way back up using the chair if we need it. All right, bringing those knees together now. We're going to move toward the edge of the chair again if we've moved back a little bit. We're just going to warm up the feet and legs. So let's start with the feet. We're just going to lift up and down. Wiggling those ankles. Sometimes when we don't move around as much as we're used to, we get tight in strange places. So wake up the bottom of the feet. Do whatever feels good. Ankles. Now we're just going to do a little bit of running in place. So adjust your bottom so that you're not going to fall. And we're just going to run. Just a little bit of running. All right, coming back to our solid position, we're going to start just opening up those hip flexors a little. So we're going to take our, this is my right knee. Take our right knee and just take it out to the side. So you may have to kind of adjust to the edge of the seat so you're stable, but we're going to just take that knee in and out. It's just a warming up motion. Might not feel it too much. One more. And we're going to switch sides. So put that right leg in the middle, left leg's going to go out to the side. check my notes, make sure I'm getting everything I wanted to on this practice. Okay, we're going to do a little seated camel next. So, sitting on the edge of the chair, sitting up tall, you can make fists and bring them behind. Draw those shoulders back. Draw the elbows back. Or if it's easier for you, bring your hands to the chair and let the chair help you do that. We're going to sit up tall, curl back and down, and just stretch open that chest again. So it's a modified seated camel, finding your best stretch either with those fists or using the chair. Just take a moment, close your eyes, and breathe. Beautiful, and release. All right, now we're going to take our practice and we're going to stand up. So we're going to stand up and we're going to adjust some equipment around here so that our chair we are facing our chair. We'll go back to that strap and some other things later. We're going to use this chair for some additional stretches. So child's pose, we do on the floor, of course, but we can also do it from the chair. So we're going to try our child's pose. I'm going to have you reach for the chair. Now, if this is too low for you already, you can certainly use the back of the chair. If it's stable, you can turn that chair around. I'm going to go a little lower here for a good stretch. So here are your options. If you want to keep it off your wrists, you can bring your arms down here, take your legs back, and stretch into a, we'll call it, bend your knees a little, we'll call it a child's pose. You can extend your arms for the back stretch, bend your knees if you need more, sinking your hips a little, or staying straight. But find your best back stretch here in what we'll call a modified child's pose. It's really an extended child's pose. Beautiful. Walk it forward. And now we're going to go into more of a downward facing dog kind of a pose. So we're going to lift up through our sitting bones. Lift up. I still need a little bend in my knees. It might look just the same as the extended, but maybe for you, you're adjusting back a little bit more than you were before. But just try to find another long stretch for the back. And breathe. I can feel this one in the backs of my legs, which is a nice feeling today. All right, walking it up. Let's shake that out for a moment. I'm going to check my list again. All right, so we're going to come to the front. We're going to do a few other poses here. So the first one I would like to do, facing the chair here, is to get our toes under the chair a little bit. Hanging on, we're going to do a lunge. So we're going to hang on to that chair, get stability, take your left leg, step it back, coming into a supported lunge here. We still check to make sure our knee is over our ankle. We've got support of this chair. We've got straightest back leg we can get here coming into our lunge. You can stay here, and of course if you're feeling like you want to add on, you can even take it up into a full lunge. Totally up to you. We're going to step it forward and switch legs. So the right leg goes back into our lunge, finding our proper position here, getting that great stretch through the back leg. Lifting our spine up just like we do in a regular lunge, trying to equal out the weight on both legs. If you're feeling brave, you can take it up for a full crescent lunge. And of course, you can modify your crescent lunge to hands here if you want to keep some of that action out of your shoulders. All right, we're going to step it forward. forward once again. Shake those feet out, maybe pedal those feet out a moment. So we're going to come into a chair with the aid of the chair. So we're going to put our feet about hips distance apart, hang on to the chair, and you can certainly turn it around if you want to use the other side again here. But we're going to sink our weight back into a chair. We've got a little support here. Remember, the weight goes to the heels. We lift our toes, we lift our spine if we can. Working on some strength there, but the place you really want to feel it is right here in your quads. And if you want to let go at any time, you're feeling like you've got a little more in you today and you want to stand up and not have to hang on to anything, then just come into a full chair. We're going to go balanced chair next. Hanging on to that chair if you need to. Lift your heels, strengthen the bottom of your feet. And if you want to get brave, you can let go. You can hang on to the back of the chair, or not at all. All right, hands back down to the chair. Just pedal out those feet a moment. All right, I'm trying to keep us from having to turn our chair too many times, so I'm looking at my list here. We're going to try coming into, we're going to turn to the side now and come into a side angle. So when we go into side angle, we're going to put our right, whatever toe faces the chair. You can do whichever side you want to. It happens to be my right side. I'm going to step my other foot back. I'm going to make sure I have room to come into a bended knee position. And I'm going to use the chair to get me over to the side for balance. So I've got my support there. I'm in position like I were. If you prefer to go all the way to a side angle and put your elbow to your knee, you can modify keeping your left hand at your hip, or you can add the full pose, bringing that arm over. It's a great stretch for the whole side of your body. And we're also starting to put some warmth into this hip by making that hip bend and work to hold us. So even if your elbow's on the chair, try not to have all your weight on the chair. Try to take some of that and balance it out and make your legs work. So this is side angle. All right, now we're going to do the other side. So you're going to see the back of me as I step forward, step back with the opposite leg. Use the side of my chair, getting into position for my elbow, and deciding where that other hand is going to go to get our best side stretch here and side angle. That chair, step it back up, shake it out for a moment. So now we're going to go into a warrior two pose here. Remember to modify if your shoulders need it. Warrior two, we're going to put, let's see, actually we're going to try that at the back. So let's go into a triangle. So we're going to put our foot under, in this case it's my right foot under the chair. My left one finds the position here. So I'm going to use the chair as part of my triangle. So remember, side angle, we're coming way over. Triangle, we're stacking. So if you don't need the chair, you can bring your hand down to your shin or the floor, or you can use this chair and get the feeling of stacking those shoulders, opening your torso to the sky. Great stretch on the leg. We breathe. Switch sides, so we step it forward, shake it out, put our other toes underneath, step back with that foot. Remember, our legs are straight in triangle, so we're using that chair as a place where we can stack, open, triangle. And coming back forward, we're going to just take a forward fold here with the aid of the chair. So our feet are hips distance apart. We're just going to come down onto our forearms, let our back stretch, and now that we're warmed up a little, let's get a big stretch for the back of those legs. Of course, if you want to use the floor, you can go all the way to the floor, but you can also use that chair for support. Go halfway lift, and remember, if your arms are here, then you're just going to stretch it out a little. Stretch those arms out. If you can reach down for the shins, stretch your back this way, whatever works. And then we're going to come up and we're going to go into pyramid with the aid of the chair. So we're going to tuck our right toes under, step our left foot back. Our toes are pointing forward, and we're going to come down. Now this might feel really good. This is something that I could use in my regular practice. Pyramid, I can now touch the floor, but it took me many years to be able to reach the floor. So having the chair here, letting you square yourself over that front leg is awesome for this stretch. So the back of both legs should be getting some sort of stretch. We're trying not to lock the knee, but to keep it straight and to bring ourselves down, squared over that front leg. Pyramid. Breathe. This feels really good to me. One more breath here. And then we're going to lift it up, shake it out, get ready for the other side. Tucking the other toes in, stepping back. You decide how far back. Toes point forward. You decide how wide between the feet, finding your balance. Your stability here, taking it down when you're ready into full pyramid, however far you want to go today. Shaking that pyramid out. If you want to grab a drink, grab a drink. If you want to change your chair position, we're going to use the back of the chair here for a couple of poses, if you're not already. So I'm going to turn mine around. You can kind of do whatever, depending on your chair and whatever works for you. You can just make it work. I'm just giving you some options here. We're going to go into balance now. We're going to start with one-legged balance. So we're going to lift the left leg. So my right hand is going to use the chair if I need it for support. Standing up tall, not locking this right side. We're going to lift the left leg up. So you can add some action to this left arm if you want to open, palm faces away, reach for the floor. If you don't need the chair at all for balance, reach down through both hands. Now we're going to add a little movement to this, really waking up those hips. So we're going to take that knee and we're going to circle it. One direction. It doesn't matter which way you start. We're going to end up going both ways anyway. And now let's go the opposite way. I was going about 6 rotations there. Beautiful. All right, let's switch sides. So you're going to get the back of me for a moment rather than move my chair. I'm just going to come to the back, shifting onto that left foot. We're going to raise the right knee and foot and come into our balance. Maybe. Maybe I need the chair today. Here we go. knee circles, so choose a direction. And let's take it the opposite way. Nice. All right, I'm going to turn back around after I knocked my chair kind of silly there. Balance is very off today. All right, we're going to try the new stretch that I've been doing in some of my classes, or not stretch, but new balance position where we lift. So we're going to lift our left knee up again. And this time, we've got the support of the chair if we need it. We're going to try not to move our upper body as much as our leg. We're going to just take it back and forth. So my wall is right behind me, so I can't get as far back as I want to. But I'm not trying to do it by bending from the waist, even though that happens a little bit. I'm trying to do it mostly from this crease in my hip, from my hip flexor area, bringing it forward and back. Like I said, not a good demonstration because I keep hitting the wall. 2 more. All right, let's turn and do the other side. This one you'll be able to see a little more how much farther back I wanted to go. So raising that right knee up, we're going to go back and lift. All right, taking it back. We're going to try a warrior 2 from the back of the chair. So we're going to bring our right toes underneath, step our left foot back. Make sure you have enough room to be able to bend your front knee properly and get into good alignment. Your weight is centered in your stance. We're just going to hang on here. Use this for balance, and if you don't need it for balance, then we're going to take our arms out and come into a full warrior 2. Checking with the hips and heart, going towards the long edge of the mat, drawing the shoulders down away from the ears, or just hanging on here, and turning our gaze to the right, as if you were looking out over that right arm. Here we go. Beautiful. All right, let's switch sides. So stepping it in, shaking it out, switching, coming into your warrior 2, opposite way. Finding that balance. Heel intersects arch of the back foot. We're putting our torso in the middle of our stance rather than leaning on that front leg. You can hang on. Look out over where the left arm would be, or actually raise your arms. Draw them down away from your shoulders. Breathe. And then we're going to release that. All right, you're all warmed up now. Let's go into some tree balance. So hanging on with the right hand if you need it. We're going to take our left toes out. Come in and find whatever position works for us. Remember, knee out to the side is what we want. So whether you're on the floor, the shin, or you bypass and come all the way up, you're going to come into a tree that works for you. Hanging on with that right hand for stability, or going onto a full tree if you choose. Any arm position that works for you and your shoulders. And we breathe. Nice. And release. We're going to switch sides. Turn my back to you again. Take the right toes out. Turn the knee out to the side and find your position on this side. hugging in foot to leg if you can. If your knee is out to the side and you're able, hug that knee in toward the center line of your body to give you support. And release. All right, beautiful. Nice work on the standing stuff. All right, let's bring that chair back around. Gonna finish up with a few stretches. This is where you may need your belt or towel for some stretches here. You might need your block for your feet, we'll see. So we're gonna start with a stretch for the hamstring. So we're gonna take our right leg out. First we're gonna bend that knee up and put something around it if we need it. Supporting that, drawing it out. So our toes point up, our leg straightens, got security with this opposite foot on the ground here. We're just gonna let the back of that leg stretch. And breathe. And we're going to switch, releasing that foot. We're going to wrap this around the opposite foot. And if you don't have something and you can hold your leg out and still feel a stretch, go for it. It feels better to me, like a better stretch when I use something like a strap or a towel. Let's do the other side now and breathe. Release. All right, I want you to come to the front edge of your chair a little bit here. And we're going to take take our right leg or whatever side you're facing, bring that leg out to the side. We're going to get a quad stretch now from the chair with the chair support. So make sure that you're stable on the chair, hanging on. We're going to reach down for our foot and try to just draw that knee down. See if you can get a stretch here. If you need your strap, you can also use a strap to help you get that foot into your hand. But we're trying for a stretch right here along the quad of whatever leg is hanging off to the side. Don't let that chair tip over. You can also do this standing next to the chair if that's a better stretch for you. I'm just demonstrating the chair version today. We're going to slide over to the other side for the other quad. Wrapping if we need to. Drawing that leg back. Make sure you're off to the side but stable on your chair, not so far to the side that you're going to tip. Your upper body can sit up tall. And release. All right, finishing our practice, we're going to do just a little bit of core work here. So we're going to try to do elbow to knee. So come to the edge of your chair. We're going to lift opposite elbow to knee. So hanging on if you need to. We're going to start on one side and we're just going to bring the leg up and twist a little to get the elbow to the knee. So try to feel that work through your abdominals, obliques, and you're going to be strengthening that hip flexor a little bit too by lifting it up. Two more. And of course, if you just happen to love one of these moves, you can always go back later and do some more. But for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to keep showing you some different ways that you can do this together with me. All right, Opposite side, here we go. Remember to add that little twist to your torso if you can. Excellent. All right. So one more. This you can do in stages. You can do one at a time, or you can do both at the same time. One at a time, let's start there today. So making sure the opposite foot is either on your block or stable on the floor. You're seated in a position where you can use your chair for a little bit of help, but not all the help. You want to be able to be working your core here. So we're going to just take that knee up and press it out. Try to straighten it out. Keeping those legs strong. One more. And other side. Shifting over, and here we go. Two more. Beautiful. Can't finish practice without at least one pigeon, so we're going to do seated pigeon now. I like to sit towards the edge of my chair, but you can push it back if you want to. We're going to take the left leg up. So we can start with sitting up tall, pressing down gently on that knee. If our leg is aligned, like pretty squared in front, pretty parallel, you can go into seated cradle the baby if you need more. And we breathe. Demonstrating my good side first. The other side won't look quite like this. Maybe I won't even be able to get up this far. We'll see. All right, let's release that. Shake it out if you need to. Move it around and try the other side. So we start in that first position and then we decide if we can go further. And for me, I'm going to stay in that first position today. This is my tight side, so I'm going to sit up tall and just gently press down on this knee. Activating my foot, breathing. One more breath here. And release. All right. So just a forward fold or two to finish practice before we get to our final couple of breaths together. But let's lift up, stretch up, reach up, and take it down. Remember, you can use that block. You can take the knees wide if that's better for you. Just stretch that back out. And breathe. Maybe you want to come up, do kind of a halfway lift and stretch your spine forward, your head forward so your spine stretches. Make it feel good to you. And then when you're ready, work yourself back up and press yourself back into your chair so you've got support of the back behind you. Sit up tall. I'm hoping that if you close your eyes and take a moment to tune into your body, like we do at the beginning, you will feel better. Better for having spent some time with me on your chair practicing or next to your chair practicing. Remember, you can modify movements any way you need to. You can make them your own. You can follow along with me. Whatever works for you. Please know that I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching. I miss my face-to-face classes with all of my people. But in a pinch, this will work. bring our hands to heart center if you choose to. Exchange the greeting. The word is namaste. To me, it means the spirit in me sees, honors, and appreciates the spirit in you. So thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. Stay healthy and safe.